Hi, family. I pray that today has been a great day for you already. Pray that you've been encouraged in the Lord um, by all of what God has done for you. And I want to just give you a nugget to chew on and to consider out of Psalm 59. But I want to do it by marrying an experience that I just had. I just had an opportunity to sit and play with and enjoy some time with some preschoolers from 3 to 5 years old. Some of them were a little younger than that. And it was a day that they call Dad's Stay and Play Day. A really cool chance to just get to see things from a kid's perspective. One of the things I noticed, though, sitting in that room with all these dads and these young girls and young boys that were sitting in front of us on a carpeted area, some of the kids were there and their fathers weren't there as yet. And you could notice a number of postures that these children began to take. Some of them began looking back at the door, wondering if perhaps the next person through the door was their father. They would take times those whose fathers hadn't come yet or whose grandfathers weren't there as yet, and they were looking, and it just kind of struck a chord in my spirit that you have so many passages in the Bible that describe how we look for God, look to God. Some of them are encouraging us to do so, and you go back over and you know a number of them in the Ascension Psalms. Psalm 121, I look to the hills from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord. Psalm 123, I look toward heaven. Psalm 141 and verse number 8, to you, Lord, I look for my help. Psalm 145 and verse number 15, everything that's living looks to God for their food. And then one that's a unique psalm, Psalm 59. It's a psalm that David wrote when he was in the middle of trouble. And it described how his enemies were watching his house, but how God was watching over David. Beautiful picture of the duality of looking. Your enemy looking for you and you looking towards God. But just some things that I want to grab a hold of in thinking about these young kids. And I'm going to read this psalm and just kind of give you four things to chew on today. The idea of looking, the thought behind looking is to direct your eyes in a particular direction, to ascertain by use of your eyes what's about to happen, to expect or to anticipate, to have in mind the end of a thing. And listen to this psalm. David says in Psalm 59 and verse number 9, you are my strength. I look for you, or I look to you, my God, my fortress. My God, whom I can rely on. You will go before me and you will do those things that help and encourage me. And I just noticed some things about looking. These young people were looking, and in order to see their father, they had to look up. The same is true with us. When it comes to seeing God, our Father, we need to look up. And you got to look up so that you can see over some things. Every now and then you've got the wrong thing blocking your view. You've got the wrong obstacles in front of you, and you've got to look up so that you can see over some stuff. You need to see past some things. Every now and then people get in the way. Your environment gets in the way. So look up so that you can look over and so that you can see past. And so and then also learn how to see beyond your current situation. One of the things about looking up is that it immediately changes your posture. You're not holding your head down with the countenance that's sad and despondent, but rather you're looking up so that you can see past your situation because of your expectation. So they looked up. But then not only did they look up, they looked with longing. I loved watching the facial expressions of these children, that longing desire. God, like we look for God. God, I want you here with me right now. They were like, I want my father here with me. I want my grandfather here with me. Some of them, I want my uncle here with me. And that's the same kind of notion we have with God. Your looking with longing is that you desire for God to be here now. You desire for God to be with you now. You want the joy of what it means to be in company with your God. So not only did they look up, They looked longing. And they were looking even with a sense of assurance. My daughter had her father there, but she looked. She looked back. She looked to check. She looked to make sure. And that's an interesting little nugget in there, because I know that even though I see him with me, I don't want him to leave. And you got to have that kind of love for your father. I don't want you to leave me, Lord. Not only that, but there are times when you know God is there, but you can't feel him like times before. And even though I can't feel you just right now, I still want to see you move. I want to see that you're present. And I want to, even though I'm distant from you, I want to watch and know that you're still involved in my affairs. So I'm looking up, I'm looking longing, I'm looking for some assurance that you're still here with me. But then also, you got to look with a certain sense of expectation. I mean, after all, David is saying, I look to God. I'm looking to God, my strength, because God is my deliverer. God is my defender. God is my helper. He loves me. He goes in front of me. He helps me in all of my situations. And that expectation is to long to see that my Father is able, long to see that my Father is alongside of me, that at times he's in front of me, that he's helping me, that he loves me. Grace and I had a great time at Dad's Stay and Play. She got a chance to play with me. She got a chance to ride alongside of me. I got a chance to beat all the other fathers, because after all, I'm her father. And the Father of grace does wonderful things. And if you can appreciate that little wordplay, appreciate the reality that the Father who gives you grace is a great Father indeed. So look for him, look to him, look up, look longing, look with assurance, look with expectation. Listen, I'm going to pray for you. You pray for me. And let's just allow God to be our present help as we look to him through every part of our day. God bless you today.